Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. Sorry, excuse my sweaty look. I taught body pump this morning and I'm still not showered from that. So anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about planks today and show you a few of my 3 favorite plank exercises because while crunches can be effective, they're not nearly as effective as planks. So if you're going to spend time on your core, which you should, I would highly recommend and suggest that you work on your plank exercises over crunches. And this is just because planks, I'm not used to speaking or looking this way at the camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, so planks actually work more muscles. So they're working your lower back, your core, your obliques, and they're actually a great full body exercise. They work your legs, your arms, everything. So they're just a lot more effective, whereas crunches are more, they focus on one smaller area on your core, and so they're just not as effective. They're not working as many muscles. So if you're gonna work your core, I highly recommend plank work. So summer's coming up, you wanna look hot in that swimsuit, so I would highly recommend planks. So I wanted to show you guys my 3 favorite core exercises. So there's so many out there, so many variations of planks. You can do a typical just plank hold where you're on your forearms. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Core work is hard. You know, you do your workout and then you just want to be done, and sometimes it's easy to just neglect it, but it's so important. It's the foundation of all of our exercises. So not only does it help you look nice and toned, but it also, like I said, is the foundation of so many of our exercises. And when you don't have a strong core, that can it makes injury more likely. So we want to have a strong core so that we don't injure ourselves. So actually when that's awesome, Jillian. Yeah, keep it up. That's great. So actually right after pregnancy, when I got the clear from my doctor, I started teaching my body pump classes again. And you know, naturally your core is a lot weaker after pregnancy. And I was teaching the back track, and we were doing clean and presses, and I totally tweaked my back out, and it hurt me for a solid 2 weeks. I was still able to teach, but it was really rough. And I know it was just because I had a really weak core. And so I have been really trying to be more intentional about working my core lately, because while we do core and body pump, it's only a few minutes, and that's not nearly enough. So I would definitely encourage you to implement core work into your exercises and your workouts. Okay, so 3 of my favorite core are plank exercises. First one is what I call the Spider-Man plank. Every trainer has some different terminology, so if you've heard it being something else, that's okay. But I call it the Spider-Man plank. So you're actually gonna get in a plank position. Your hands are gonna be right under, here, I'll move forward a little bit. Hands are gonna be right under your shoulder. You're gonna be up on your toes. Make sure your hips are in line with your back. You don't want them to sag down here. That can hurt your back, and you're not doing anything for your core. And you don't want your butt to be up in the air. So your butt's right in line with your back, and you're gonna bring up your knee to the outside of your elbow, like Spider-Man, like this. So make sure you keep that core tight the whole time. For a modification, you can always come down to your knees, but I don't wanna see this. You wanna be on your knees with your hips in line with your back and bring your knee up. Okay, so that's a great modifier. So this is great for working your whole core, and then it really hits those obliques hard. Okay, so crunch up to your elbow. Okay, so that one's a really good one. The next one is what I call a plank walkout. So you're actually gonna start in a standing position, and you're just gonna walk out, come right in front of your feet, walk out, keep your abs tight the whole time. Sorry, I'll move back a little bit. And then go into a plank, hold it. I usually recommend holding it for 20 to 30 seconds, and then you can walk back. Okay, and that works your upper body, your legs, full body, and of course your core. And then lastly, a rotating plank. This one's really good for your obliques. We actually did these in my body pump class today. And it was awesome. One girl afterwards, she was like, oh my gosh, those rotating planks, those are killer. I gotta practice those at home. And I'm like, yeah, they are, but they're killer for a reason because they're super effective. So you wanna be on your elbows, your forearms. So get into a plank position. So your elbows are right under your shoulders. You're gonna rotate, okay, up, and your feet are scissored. So, sorry, you can't really see my feet here. Make sure your feet are scissored. Okay, you'll feel that tightness in your obliques here. Make sure your hips are off the ground. So you'll come up and then you'll rotate back down. And then you can do the other side. Okay, so these are great for your whole core and especially your obliques. And then modification, you can do these, like I said, on your knees. So if you start on your knees, you can rotate. That bottom knee will stay down on the ground. Make sure that your whole body is in line with each other. So your knee is in line with your elbow, okay, and come up. And then you can come back down. Okay, so one more time. Woo, these are my favorite. I love them. They're super effective and awesome. So those are 3 of my favorite plank exercises. So super important to implement those into your workouts. Whew, I'm out of breath now. And super effective to build that strong core, keep your abs nice and tight, and make sure you're breathing. I think a lot of people confuse when I say tighten your core, they like hold their breath. We don't want that. So make sure you're inhaling and exhaling, but your abs are tight. That'll help engage them more, and it'll help those exercises be even more effective. So anyways, that's all for now. I'm gonna go finally shower, I think, and enjoy some quiet time while my kids are napping. So have a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back. Yeah, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Yeah, so I'll be back to share some more exercises with you guys down the road. These are my favorite kind of periscopes, sharing exercises and that sort of thing. So yeah, you're so welcome, Jillian. All right, well, you have a fabulous day, you guys, and sorry, I had a text there, and we'll talk to you guys soon.